Hello, my name is Katja Rachel, and I'm doing my presentation on increasing contact with other cultures. When I was in high school, I was really shy and couldn't do presentations at all. But then I transferred to my university down in Arizona and joined a sorority. My sisters and Greek life allowed me to increase my confidence, and I was able to do presentations with a little bit more confidence. I wouldn't say I would be the best presentator, but a little bit more confidence. By increasing So I would believe that by increasing contact with other cultures, we are allowing ourselves to become better communicators. By emphasizing with other cultures, social media and technology, traveling. When becoming involved in another culture, put aside your own opinions and take on the culture and take on the way the culture views it. For example, while at a different religion's place of worship, respect it and take a moment to learn more about it. I'm Lutheran, and my cousin brought me to her Catholic church. I was expecting to be talked down upon, like sometimes that my cousin does, but when I got there, I actually learned a lot more about Christianity than I thought I would. Because I kept an open mind. You can also learn more about how the customs differ. For example, tipping differs in many countries. In the United States, we tip for many things, like 15 to 20% at restaurants, but around the world, tips are included in the restaurant bill. And then at bars in the UK, you don't have to tip, but you can give the barkeep buy the barkeep a beer out of gratitude. I didn't know this, or maybe I did, but when I look at the Dutch bakery now, so Americans come in and they tip in our tip jar or on our screen, but when the Dutch come in, they don't give tips at all, so you can tell the difference. But a woman came in, and she's just like, she made a big deal about, oh no, I'm not going to tip at all, you should be paid enough for this. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I'm used to this. But my coworker, she was not used to it, she didn't get the culture, she didn't get the Dutch culture. So I explained to her, in the Netherlands, they don't tip. In the United States, they're used to tipping. And I hope it finally got across to her. Also, in the United States, the greetings differ than around the world. So in the United States, we handshake. In France, they do kiss both cheeks. It's called faire le bye. In India, your palms are together over your heart, and you say namaste. Namaste. In Tibet, you stick your tongue out, and that comes from the Tibetan belief of reincarnation. There's this 9th century king. He was a cruel king, and so if you stick your tongue out, you're saying that you were not that king. Okay. The U.S. Social media promotes interconnections and interdependence in our culturally diverse world by making it more simple to know what's going on in our lives. Facebook network encourages people to send messages to one another and connect cultures. I can attest to that because when I was here, we had exchange students from the Netherlands, and when they left, I was Facebook friends with them, but I didn't have their phone numbers. When I went to the Netherlands, I wanted to reconnect with them. I messaged them on Facebook, and then a few times while I was in the Netherlands, we were able to hang out. Twitter is a form of media to share information through microblogging. It's quick news mostly, where you can get news from not only your friends, but political leaders and celebrities. WhatsApp is a messaging app, and so living in The Hague, I was able to use that for texting my parents while they're in the States. Organizations now use it for when people abroad ask questions. YouTube is a website for video sharing, and so people like me and you can use it to share videos, but then also entertainment and political news, they can share their videos on their YouTube channels. While all useful ways to share ways to communicate, they have the ability to increase contact with one another, their synchronicity sometimes varies. They should be quick and brief ways of communication. Email and text, those are both for if you want to control over what you're saying. Email is a synchronous, while texts vary. While emails are good to relay detailed info, texts are good for brief. Skype I would count as talking face-to-face. So the synchronicity is instant through this channel. Conveying a message, one of my favorite channels is to keep in contact with family abroad. The phone or cell phone, the info is synchronous, and you can keep in contact with anyone in the world as long as you have their phone number. The downside is that the effectiveness of getting a detailed message can come across as weak, and phone calls abroad are costly. Cell phones can encompass multiple ways of channel communication easily, so you can choose from any different ways, because there are so many different apps nowadays. The computer is using a device that gives options for communication, whether it be social media, email, Skype, depends on how you want to mail across. Webcam is mostly used for Skype and videos, and so with Skype you can message or send a video to anyone across the world as long as you don't even have to have a Skype account. They don't have to have a Skype account. You can just call the phone number on your Skype account. The technology of today and social media allow us to increase contact with communication with other cultures, as well can now contact outside of our own culture easily. As you can see from my picture, you can go from contacting someone in California, and then they can contact someone in Europe, sending an email to Greenland or Iceland, and then someone goes to Russia very quickly. So now there are two different ways, but then you can also travel to experience these distant cultures firsthand. While I was in the University of The Hague, it was a very diverse school in a very diverse city. And we celebrated, since there's so many different cultures, we celebrated all the different holidays. But since all the Americans there, we decided to celebrate Thanksgiving in November. See from the pictures on my slide, the table there that we did, and then the American flag. And then we also celebrated King's Day. All of my friends there, we have a Queen Maxima mask over our faces. And then they just the differences between holidays. Because King's Day is it's a big celebration, And then Thanksgiving was a low-key type of holiday where we gave thanks, we celebrated together, we had just had a nice dinner together. I also overcame my uncertainty avoidance by hitchhiking to Budapest from The Hague, and many different people picked us up. We had 2 friends that drove us all the way to Germany, and we had a man who owned a vineyard in the south of France who was visiting his son in Austria, and then 2 men who were going to Greece. And then my favorite, that there was this bus full of football fans or soccer fans who their team lost, so they're all just wasted, and they all sang songs. And the thing is that we told them to get off at a certain place, but they took us all the way into their small town, so we had to walk out of town to a bus stop. But it was a good experience for us. But while in Budapest, I was able to experience a currency. I was used to euros in Europe, but I was to experience a currency that I'd never used. So I was not sure if I'd underpaid or overpaid, but it was a good experience to do that. Business things, how to communicate businessly. Different cultures have different concepts of time. The US is big on punctuality, while in Latin America and the Middle East, they're big on relationships rather than time. So that means that if you are in the middle of a conversation, they'd rather you finish the conversation than be on time for a meeting. And then in Russia, greeting people more formally is for meetings than what I discussed before. And then in Russia, especially, they're more formal. And they think that if you're smiling too much in a meeting, you're not serious about what you're talking about. Then you can also become a tourist. There's an idea that culture is socially constructed, so there are norms that members of a culture must learn to do. While increasing contact, you should learn some of these norms. Some of these could be how a culture wears their clothes, exhibits manners, or says hello. It could also be like superstitions that they have. Like, for example, when a child loses their tooth, we have the superstition that there's a tooth fairy. In Greece, they have the superstition of throwing the tooth on the roof. In conclusion, increasing contact with a culture allows a person to become a better communicators through multiple ways and resources, like emphasizing with the culture, technology and social media, and traveling. As you increase your contact with a culture, emphasize that it is what would it be like to be in their shoes, and leave prejudice behind. Social media gives you a fast way to communicate with a person across the globe, and travel can give you first-hand experience. By doing all that, you are expanding yourself from your own culture and reaching out to others, thus becoming a better communicator. Thank you.